Hi. Thank you so much for joining us today. I really, really appreciate you. So today we're going to be going over basically everything about business funding from a business funding expert. So before we kind of dig right into it, actually, if you could please introduce yourself for anyone that doesn't know you yet.
Okay. What's up, everybody? My name is Ashley Gunther. I am the owner of CAP Funding and the creator of the CAP Growth Systems. Our financial institution, really, we've been running since 2018. But before that, I've actually been in the online industry for 10 years. I started off as an MLMer. I graduated to direct sales. I started just reading everything and taking every course and class. And then one day it kind of just clicked and I became a mentor and a coach. And so I created 3 different programs relating to sales, marketing, to help people, startups, and businesses grow. And then in 2018, I was given the opportunity to co-run a finance company. And I fell in love with that, and the rest is history. So to date, we've actually helped over 15,000 people, individual startups or small businesses. 7,000 of those were with the EIDL and the PPP, but the rest have been mainly startup, small business, and consolidation loans. And on the other part, beyond financing, we offer proper payment processing, which most of our clients don't understand how important it is, because it actually strengthens their file and makes their file more lendable. So we focus a lot on education, resources, the step-by-step, the hand-holding, and getting our clients to understand the full picture so they feel far more informed and they can make a better decision.
I love that. And my favorite part is that you can actually help, whether a person's a veteran or a startup, add that extra form of passive income while still helping their clients too.
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Cool. No, I think that's awesome. And then number 2, what actually made you want to go into business funding? Did you see a need for it, or what was your why?
No, I love that because I do get asked that often. So to me, it was like a blessing from the universe, regardless of our beliefs or whatever. My belief was I was at an impasse. I had been doing coaching and consulting for 2 years, and it really got huge, and it kind of blew up a little bit in my face. To be transparent, my closest core students, one saw an opportunity to go their own way, stole all of my stuff, repackaged it, took a bunch of students, and that took a pause. And it really affected me. I was very vulnerable at that time in general in life because I was so focused on my business and not myself. So when that happened, it kind of left me a little shattered and breaking me all the way down to pieces. I was like, what am I going to do next? I don't know if I don't know what I want to do, but I want to use my skill set. I want to use my passion to help people. And a different student had come to me and he gave me the opportunity. He said, I want to gift you 50% of my company because you don't realize you saved my life. And so February of 2018, I got that opportunity and I started becoming obsessed with funding, obsessed with money, how to get it, what do they need, what's good, what's bad, what's right. And then I got a great opportunity to be mentored 2 years by someone who had been in the industry 12 years and just learned everything and was trained directly by underwriters. I've been trained directly by, like, when you guys go to nav.com for business,
Right,
and you go and click on a line of credit and you get an offer from Headway Capital, the Headway CEO and their crew trained me while I was getting tattooed. Like, I got a full training with them on their line of credits, on what line of credits are. I got to ask. I was always the only one on these training calls asking a ton of questions. I'm like, what if the client has this? How will it affect this? What is written in your contract? I asked everything, and I was able to get answers directly from the underwriters, the people that determine whether your file is lendable. And so being that person that asked questions, being that person that spoke up, being that sponge, and then having the ability to lead generate and talk to so many people. I was processing hundreds of apps a month. Nobody else was doing that. And I got all that information. And then I got all that success. Hey, I helped this person. Hey, I helped that. Like, everyone had been helped. And so from that, it blew up, and you fall in love with that. Like, being that hero, being that superhero, being that person that was like, I couldn't tell you how many times I've heard, Ashley, I tried everywhere and they lied or they said this or they did that. I wish I would have
Right.
found you first. Then we work with them, we get their file cleaned up. And in 3 months or 6 months, they come back and they get exactly what they were looking for. And that saves them sometimes. Like
I
we've
love
saved,
that.
I've personally saved small businesses. I've saved marriages. I've saved homes.
Amen
You know,
to marriages. Go ahead.
I mean, because when you think about it, when you're a small business owner, though, when you're a small business,
Exactly.
look at what we just went through with COVID.
Everything
Like,
happened with COVID
People,
at one time.
yeah, I got COVID 3 times.
Awful.
Like COVID affected all aspects of our life, and all these entrepreneurs and all these new people with so much passion that started a business and had no idea about structuring and payroll and payment processing and personal credit and all that. And when it was time for them to get disaster money that would have helped them and that they should have gotten, they didn't get it because their stuff wasn't set up right, because they started a small business not taking courses on how to be a small business owner.
Exactly. It's just that passion, that adrenaline rush will literally make you feel as though you can conquer the entire world. And sometimes you can, but there's nothing wrong with a little help, some extra guidance, some extra things to know too. So no, but I'm glad you were able to be the solution to those people's problems, because I know they needed you, you know, so that's always dope. Now, what exactly is CAP funding, and how does it solely help business owners? Let's say like credit repair businesses and food trailer businesses, maybe boutique owners. I know we have a little bit of everything in the following.
Totally understand that. So the way that I describe us versus our competition, right? Because people want to talk about our competition. I don't view anyone as competition, right? All of us, there are good lenders and there are bad lenders. And sometimes there's a great lender and they have bad reps, right? And then sometimes you got bad reps with good lenders. When you think about it, CAP Funding is a marketplace. So we created a marketplace similar to Amazon. You can go on Amazon, you can buy anything. It's out there, right? Well, same thing with lending. If you walk into your bank right now, they're going to offer 1 or 2 products. They don't have to worry about being competitive with the rates. They're going to give you the rates. They're going to hard pull your credit at the front. They're not going to talk to, they cannot legally even talk to you about improvements to your file. They cannot do that.
Exactly.
They have to process your file no matter what you look like, no matter your credit score, no matter your income. They have to legally process your application. They cannot look at you and go, listen, your credit is a 580. We really only approve 680 plus. They won't say that. I don't care if their website says 600 plus. Banks 680 plus, credit union 700 plus, SBA 680 plus. Do not believe the people saying they can get you an SBA loan at 580. If they say that, please have them send me the proof that they've gotten it approved. I've never seen it. I would love that. I would love to be wrong. I'm not. I would love to see that. Outside of disaster, the SBA, a government agency that requires extremely good credit and approves less than 20% of their applications, is not going to lend to bad credit people. But I digress, right? So we have multiple programs because everyone's file is different. The majority of America, well, it's not technically the majority, it's like 33% of Americans have a credit score under 620. And there's about another 30% that's under 680. If I can remember correctly, okay? So that means most of us have subprime credit. Banks don't lend to subprime. So you automatically think, well, I have no options. Well, that's why there's alternative lending. So we offer alternative options. The issue with that is a lot of people are either amateurs or they're bad reps and they're promoting things incorrectly. They're misleading. And what they don't realize is the impact on a file.
Exactly.
So at our company, we take that into consideration. Everyone comes in, we're going to pre-qualify them. Other companies, you fill out an app, they send it out to their hundreds of lenders. You think working with someone with hundreds of lender options is good until you realize what that means is they took your application without any rhyme, reason, purpose, or thought process. They massively submit it to everyone. Doesn't matter if they do a hard pull, a soft pull, doesn't matter if your industry is already restricted, doesn't matter if you don't meet any type of requirements, they send it out to everybody. It's like just throwing something up against the wall and hoping that it sticks. Okay? That's when you get multiple hard pulls. That's when you get your data breaches. That's when everybody and their mother, brother, and dog walker is calling you and you're like, I didn't apply with you.
Okay.
especially when one of these lenders is more of a lead miner. And what they do is they take your lead and submit it to all of their people. Even reputable companies like Bluevine, you apply to Bluevine, okay? A lot of you do. I utilize Bluevine if the file is a good Bluevine file, which I know when it is and when it's not, unlike our competition, except for Bluevine, they know what they like and what they don't like. But other people representing them don't know unless they're a piece part of my organization.
Gotcha.
You'll apply, right? Bluevine will literally send you an email saying, hey, you didn't qualify, but why don't you check out one of our partners? And now it's a step to send you to a next and the next, because they want to monetize that lead. Even though they declined you, they want to monetize that. We don't do that. We don't mass submit. We're going to pre-qualify you. We're going to take a look at the 7 to 10 different factors and go, okay, now that we have this information, these are the things we can do. These are the things we can't. This is why these are good or bad or indifferent. This is how you can utilize this. And here's your list of challenges. This is how we solve those.
Okay.
So we completely empower the client. So if the client is ready for funding and we have the program, then we get them the application, we get them to the expert, we get them the offers, we walk them through the offers, they accept the offers. Boom, now that you got that funding, unlike our competition, we take it a step further. Well, how else can we help you grow? Is there other ways? Because just getting capital doesn't always solve all the problems or the big problem. So it's that continued help, a lot of resources, a lot of education, a lot of hand holding, because the majority of people have never gotten a loan before. They have no idea. They think it's like a mortgage or they think it's like a car loan, and it's not. The rates aren't the same. The process isn't the same. It can be very different.
Or they think every place you get a loan from is the same, and it's not. So
and it's not. What you'll see often is because we want to price compare. We want the best price. I understand that. I respect that. I am the same way. I get it.
Right,
I also keep quality in mind always, and I will always pay more for quality. Absolutely. That is how I lead in life. But here's the deal. When anybody of any industry goes online, and you brought up credit repair, by the way, is a restricted industry.
Right.
You will have a very hard time getting funding for credit repair unless you work with an expert like me. Food trucks aren't that bad, but because of COVID, restaurants and food trucks have always been fairly solid. Food trucks, being that they're on their own, is actually considered more restricted. And again, we'll have a hard time if you don't know what you're doing or if maybe some of your file is lacking. Right? You mentioned boutiques. Boutiques, again, e-commerce is solid, but your bank, like if you have an e-commerce and a storefront, your bank still might not appreciate the fact that it's e-commerce. That is, again, considered high risk.
Exactly.
High risk. And guess what? Drop shipping, I blow people's mind. Do you realize that drop shipping is a restricted industry for payment processing, PayPal and Stripe? You have to get written approval. The two ones that you're forced to using when you go on these platforms, PayPal and Stripe. Look it up in their restricted list. You have to get pre-approval, pre-consent to use PayPal or Stripe for your drop shipping business.
Make sure you guys look into that. If anyone's doing drop shipping, you guys know who I'm talking to out there. It's cool.
And that's the thing. And so people ask me, well, then why do they accept it? Mm-hmm. Well, why am I being told I have to do this? So with the Shopify platform, you can get a regular merchant processor depending on how it's set up. And we do that all day. If you have your own e-commerce platform, which is what I suggest, because ownership is key. I get we get that traffic from Amazon. I get we get the traffic from Etsy, and I respect that. But always have your own too. You know what I'm saying? Do all that, solid all day, but have your own too, because this stuff will go away. This stuff will change. The pricing will change. There will be more restrictions.
And their job is not to make sure that you're regulated either. So if you miss a step, if you miss a law, if you forget something,
and guess what? And you don't know all the steps or the laws. Mm-hmm. And like I said,
still seen as your fault.
These companies will approve everyone's like, well, why does PayPal and Stripe approve these accounts if it's restricted? Because they want your money.
Yeah. Now, if you get in trouble later, that's on you, not them. They won't get in trouble.
Exactly. And that's the thing. It's the same thing with funding. There are good and there are bad products. There are good and bad times to take funding. I have told people in the years that I've been in financing, I don't believe you should take this loan. I don't believe you should take this advance. This isn't going to help you. You don't have a solid enough action plan for me to feel comfortable like signing off on this with you. Because when I'm working with a client, we're together. We're together in this. And so that's really that's one of the ways that we help. Now, personal credit, we always talk about the importance of personal credit. You talk about the importance of personal credit. People need to stop thinking they can avoid personal credit. Your personal credit will always matter on any type of loan, even in advance. And so stop getting tricked by these other people saying no credit checks, or it doesn't show up on your personal profile. That's an MCA. That's a merchant cash advance. They are misleading you with the sale of that completely.
I love that. And my son says hello, by the way.
Hello, King. Hello, King.
Cash, say hi. That was live energy. So then we have, you done saying hi? Good job. So what businesses do you feel would benefit the most from adding a funding option to their platform?
So adding fund, so that's a great thing. So when you add funding, so as a small business owner, maybe you don't need funding for yourself. And I don't think that all businesses need funding. I believe all businesses should have business credit cards. I feel all businesses should have a business line of credit. So they are always set up to have that instant injection for an emergency or an opportunity, right? But not all businesses are looking for funding, right?
Gotcha.
That's why I talk about merchant processing a lot. But then you have businesses that are selling things to consumers. So if you are in the food truck industry and you create the actual food trucks, you have a high ticket item. Not all of your clients are going to have the cash. So oftentimes these companies will go and they will look and they will sign up with companies like, should I say them?
Go for it. Okay.
They sign up for companies like Easy Consulting or Seven Figures Funding. I love Leo. I know these people. Now, these companies are good companies. Easy Consulting, maybe not, but these companies are pretty good companies. The issue is their products only service really good credit clients.
Gotcha.
So if
not
you
everybody has an 800.
Yeah, if you got a 680 plus, you can tap into the 0%. You're going to see a lot of 0% credit lines. Okay, those are 0% credit cards. They credit card stack them. They're taught not to call it stacking. Okay, you'll pay a fee on the back end. You need 680 plus credit. You need no late payments. You need under 4 inquiries. You need to have under 45%. I'm telling you the big sauce. You have to have under 45% utilization on each and every line for you to be approved. And that's a pre-approval. Once they pre-approve you, you're going to get a range of how much you could get. Then over the next 2 to 3 weeks, they're going to start having you apply to credit cards. You're going to get hard pulls. Now, let's say you get 35K worth of that. Then they're going to teach you how to liquidate it. So then you're going to liquidate $35,000 worth of credit. So now all of your credit cards are maxed out. So I want you to think about 4 inquiries, 4 brand new open accounts, a few hard inquiry declines, and then maxed out credit cards, and tell me that was worth it for 0%.
I'll wait. I can't tell you it was worth it, but it's
it
sounds wild. And then now, try to get anything else. Like try to dig yourself out of that.
The 0% credit lines are great if you're utilizing them more of a line of credit, but if you're planning on using the entire buttload of money, you have now harmed your file to the point where you may not recover in 6 to 8 months.
Exactly.
It could take longer. And then what happens when you need more capital? So a lot of these companies that sell a high ticket item, even $5,000, even $2,500, you're a coach, you're a consultant, you're selling web design. You're doing any of these high-end. I saw an Airbnb course, an upgraded one for $20K. If you're having these packages, you should absolutely offer financing. That way you overcome the cost objection, right? Exactly. So really, if you're selling anything over $1,000, there are platforms or people that you can work with to get the funding for your clients.
Exactly.
You'll get the offers of the 0% credit lines, and those can be really great. I utilize them again when it's appropriate for the client. And then I teach them the appropriate way to use it so it doesn't harm them.
Right. I like how you touched base on the Airbnb. I think that's beautiful because I was originally taught, or one of the things that I was presented as an option was, get your business credit. Just use your business credit to fund your Airbnb only.
Oh, I can talk about
solely.
That.
Net 30 means that they want their money back 30 days, y'all. So if you just, and then like Yes, I'm praying everybody is automatically successful in their Airbnb, but that's not the real world, right? And the real world is, it might take some more time for it to jump off, maybe. You just want to make sure that you're ready. And how wild is it to put all your eggs in that 30-day basket? Not everybody has a second person's income in the house to fall back on, a nest egg in their savings, an amazing income already suited to where, so I feel like
that is the thing about business credit. And I speak about it often on my page, especially about the misinformation about business credit.
And it's awesome when used wisely.
Business credit is great. Business credit is also for established businesses. It's really supposed to see, the internet took it by storm and thinking that there's a hack and you can do all these great things and it's the fast track, and like kind of yeah, but no. And the risk isn't worth the reward, because I say it often, if you have one late payment on your business credit, you have destroyed your business credit. You have destroyed that LLC. Wipe it away. One
late payment.
Guess what?
And that's the wild card, right?
So here's the difference. Guess what? Having no business credit doesn't matter. The banks don't care. The credit union doesn't care that you have business credit. The SBA does not care that you have business credit. When you come to me for startup loans, I have to ask people now about business credit to see if they have bad business credit. Because guess what? Not having any business credit has never hurt anyone. Unless it's for factoring.
There you go.
Invoice factoring. That is the only time where business credit is really heavily looked at for an approval. Otherwise, startup loans, personal loans, MCAs, lines of credit, business terms loan, equipment. With equipment, it's better to have strong business credit. That will give you a little boost.
Right.
That's not going to be the determining factor. So you have all these people thinking business credit is going to help them avoid their personal credit. It's going to get them 100K in 90 days. Terrible. All these BS promises, no guarantees, no money back guarantee. Don't pay them by the Zelle.
I just urge people to try to use it responsibly and
build it.
Try to take your time and do it when you're ready. Don't do it with a fad and it's a trend. Do it when you're ready. Rushing to do something like that can be detrimental to your financial health, and it's not worth jumping on a bandwagon. Just educate yourself.
No, educate it. Imagine being open for 2 years. I want you to imagine you've had your LLC, you started off small, and for the last year you've been doing like 50K a month, right? In the first year, but now you're in your second year, you're making 50K a month. You have a 700 credit score. You're feeling good. You've cracked the code. You're doing it. And now you have an opportunity maybe let's say it's a storefront, and now you have the opportunity to open a new storefront and you need funding. And you go and you decide you're going to go get a loan. Well, 6 months prior, you decided you were going to start, you hired this business credit coach, and they're all about the acceleration and the super speediness and do. And it's so easy. It's so easy. And you trusted them. And in that time, like month 3, you got a late payment. But they're like, oh, don't worry about it. It's just a late payment. We're growing. It's all good, right? And you go to the bank or you go to me and you're like, hey, because by the way, when you don't qualify with me, you don't want to be qualified anywhere else. You don't. That results in the mob. There are still lenders that are run by the mob. You can look them up on the Google. They will come to your house with baseball bats to collect. There are places you do not. You think I'm playing? You can look it up. There are places.
It's true though.
You don't want that. So imagine coming to me and everything looks good. 700 credit, 50K a month. You've done everything right. You've been working hard, and you won't be able to get a loan anywhere because you have one late payment on your business credit.
Exactly. So it's just something to keep in mind and stuff. But I also wanted to ask you, what are the qualifications for having business funding, and if approved, how much is usually the interest rate?
Sure. I love, so interest rates and terms are the number. Hey, Ashley, what are your interest rates and terms? Okay. I love that question. Number one, prime rate with banks is 3.25%. So that means for unsecured money, the bank cannot lend, any of these lenders cannot lend under 3.25% unless it's secured by something. Okay. Yesterday, and I know this is going to air several times, but we just got word that the Federal Reserve raised interest rate by 0.75%. That's nearly a 1% increase. That is very, very bad. And the spiral is going to be worse. So here's the deal. is every lender has a base and then they have base points. And depending on your internal risk score, base points are added or subtracted. So every lender is going to look at the same things, but each lender has different restrictions and different obligations because they are trying to minimize their risk. Because what happens if you don't pay, right? So as an example, your personal credit is number one, always the first factor. If you have subprime credit, you have options, they're limited. You'll also get subprime rates. You're not going to get the 3 and 4%. You literally have bad credit. So personal credit's always going to be the first thing. Next, and remember, the score is deceptive. It's more about the history, but that score is the baseline. Then they look into the history. Next is going to be the revenue or the income. If you're a startup or a new business, they're going to look at your personal income. Do you have a job? What is your adjusted gross income on your tax return? Have you filed taxes? You better file taxes. Otherwise, you can't borrow money. Okay. And then you have the revenue of your business. Okay. So is your business set up? Are you an LLC or a sole prop? Guess what? If you're a sole prop using a personal bank account, you're not a business. I don't care that you have your little business cards and your website. You're not a business.
Oh Lord.
It's considered, you're considered a startup. You're not going to get business loan options with a personal bank account. We're going to use common sense on that. That's how that works, right? Okay. So, and if you're not filing taxes, you're not going to get to borrow money. I had someone, and this might be over some people's heads. If you know about becoming sovereign, if you become sovereign, you no longer file taxes. Well, you also no longer get to borrow money from the banks. You're free, but you can't borrow money. So interest rates are always going to depend on the program as well. But they're going to look at your personal credit. They're going to look at your revenue or your income. They're going to look at your time in business. That's a part of the risk score. The less time in business, the less they're going to trust it. They're going to look at, where are you banking at? They're going to look at how many deposits. They're going to look at your cash flow. These are the things they're going to look at. How are you operating? How are you taking payments? What are you selling? What industry are you in? So with industries, again, like credit repair, insurance, financial institutions, my business is considered restricted. Gambling, adult entertainment, anything high ticket, anything that's not a physical thing, it's going to be harder to get approved for. And then you have businesses like restaurants. Restaurants got hit hard by COVID. We're finally starting to get a little further away from that to where the banks are becoming more comfortable lending. Food trucks, again, you have that you're kind of a mobile independent. The risk is higher. So you won't be able to get money from the bank so easily. And your risk score, your restricted industry will also determine the rates. So for the SBA, who requests 26 documents, expects you to have 680 plus credit, very strong personal income, and possibly collateral, you're looking at maybe 7 to 8%. Okay, but that's secured. It's secured. You think but it's secured. Okay. So we offer our unsecured startup loans. If you have a 720 plus credit score with qualified history, we can get you rates as low as 4.99%. Now we just had the increase. So now I expect it to be in the 5% range. But if you qualify, it's all about what you qualify for now. Exactly. And that's the same thing with lines of credit. A lot of people don't understand most lines of credit are weekly. They're not monthly. Advances. In advance, you don't even get an interest rate. You get a factor rating. And it's very high. And the payment is very aggressive and fast. So it also depends on the programs that you're applying to. They have lows and they have highs. Unsecured 4.99% and up. It can go up to 120%. And I posted a few months back, this one particular company that's loaning money up to 700 something percent. They're able to do that because they are protected by, and I'm going to blank on this, but they are on a reservation, an Indian reservation. And so they have their own rules that do not apply like we do here in regular America.
Right.
I'm not trying to be funny.
Well, I don't live on a reserve, so I'm in regular America.
Yeah, but so really rates and terms are always going to be determined by your profile. The stronger the profile, the better. The longer the profile, the better. Okay. If you have poor credit, small time in industry, not much income, you may be in that stuck in between. That's when working with someone like us is, okay, well, how can we better it? Can we get you a better payment processor? Can we look at offering the customer financing like you said? If you're selling products to people with a high ticket and you're struggling with those sales, the easiest way to overcome the cost objection is by offering people better options. Well,
I mean, I keep things simple and I love that. So I feel like everyone should live by the same motto and stuff there. So why not, right? Like if apples aren't working for you, have you tried oranges? Kind
Right?
of thing. You just
Yeah.
gotta
And if the
offer them
apples
whatever
aren't
it is.
working, do they know how good the apples are?
Exactly.
Is the
right?
price point correctly? Are you talking to apple lovers or are you talking to orange lovers?
Because it's
Right?
true though. So,
It
you
is
know, like as
true.
long as you just like cater it to whatever your actual client or student needs. And
Yes.
another thing about that before we even continue, because I want to make sure I touch base on it.
Mhm.
The only reason why you're not going to see it already in the course in the box options, because I want to make sure that you see it as an option to add. Now, for me, primarily in my courses, the ones that like if you go to my holiday credit repair business page, when someone enrolls in my courses and stuff like that, and certain ones you're going to see a business funding option either at the end, and I might even prime offer it within it and stuff there. Business credit, the business credit course, the business marketing course, the mentorship course.
Oh, that's so
You
important
don't
too.
know what someone needs. And
Yep.
sometimes they're too vulnerable to maybe even open up and tell you. It might not even be the husband that's taking the course that needs it. It might be the wife that needs that option, looking over his shoulder while he's taking the course.
No, 1,000%. And I've gotten that. People are like, well, I don't want to waste your time by sending you people that don't qualify or this and that. And I'm like, first of all, the people that don't qualify, nobody's probably ever taken a few minutes to talk to them and tell them what's missing.
Mhm.
And there's so much power in that, because when you actually give someone your time when they've been dismissed for so long, like they remember that. And
Literally.
whether they're your customer now or not, that
Mhm.
power that you just created, they're going to tell people. People remember how you treated them.
They can feel like
They-
gold every
Yeah,
time.
they really do. And so that's the other thing is, I mean, I get tons of text messages, emails, inboxes all day. I do my best to clear them out every day, end of day. And you get these questions and you get these people in some tough situations. And a lot of these people would leave them on red or block them or ignore them. And sometimes you've got to be the person to tell them the bad news. And I'm going to tell you here lately, I've been having to tell people a whole lot of bad news because a lot of people are paying a lot of money for things that aren't being even taught right, that are incomplete. That's why I'm always thankful to work with people like you, because what you teach is real. You're not, if someone wants to fast track it, they can, but you're not like, this is the way, like, this is the only way to do it. It's like, no, this is how you do it. This is how you establish it correctly. This is what you really do. These are the important things, because people think that I hate business credit. I do not. I don't like the business credit people misleading. Oh, when you have good, listen, why not have great personal credit, great business income, and great business credit? That's the power. That's the goal. That's the goal. But how do we make something strong? Like we were before this, we were talking about going to the gym. If I don't go to the gym every day, I'm not getting strong, and I'm eating bread and I'm eating all the good stuff, right?
Yes.
But if every day I go to the gym, or if every other day I go to the gym and I'm consistent with that, I'm going to get bigger and stronger. I can't go to the gym 5 hours a day for like 3 days and all of a sudden I'm there. Boom. There. Yes. That's how people are thinking about business credit. That's why people are trying to buy shelf corporations to jump to something. And it's like, stop, slow down.
When you're not ready for that point yet, maybe.
Also not ready. And 9 times out of 10, the company that's offering it is total BS. It's total BS
out there, y'all.
And there's no guarantee. And the banking system is caught up to the shelf corporation hack. Like, come on, y'all. It's 2022. Like, things are changing. So there's a lot out there, and there's a lot of hacks, and there's a lot of things. And then there's people like you and I that we're going to tell you the truth.
Yeah, not just what you want to hear.
Exactly.
But the actual truth. So that way you can build something real, maintain it, and then help other people do the same. Because there's no point in hoarding info and stuff there. Like, grow and learn from it. A great book that I feel like someone should read and stuff there is, if you're watching this, Ashley just touched a point on, if you go to the gym every other day, and you're going to get bigger and stronger over time. But if you go like 5 hours in 3 days and stuff there, you're not just going to immediately get big and stuff.
I know I'm going to barely be able to walk because I'm nearly 40. If I go to the gym for 5 hours, 3 days in a row, I think I might be.
I will need a wheelchair to get out of that gym for one, but
rolling out.
like the first thing that I thought of as soon as you said consistency is key, you're bigger and stronger, was the compound effect, because it's all about like building your mindset to be okay with making these strides and progresses over time. Like you might not be a millionaire in a year. You might be a millionaire in 5
And by the way,
years.
how many people become a millionaire when you're just start, like, y'all, come
Take your
on.
time, you know,
We've
like
just started something.
one of my
Why
mentors did it.
But what?
One
what,
of them.
what exactly?
One.
But
Like,
how long have they
takes
been
time.
doing other? But how long have they been doing other things?
Forever. Exactly. She was a
So
hairdresser.
it wasn't in 1 year. So it wasn't in 1 year. You feel what I'm
Exactly.
saying? Like that's the
Exactly.
thing is, it's a misplaced entitlement because everyone's trying to do this fast track. We're all in a very fast world, fast society.
Mhm.
And I say this humbly, but I also say it a bit aggressively. Like, why are you so special?
Exactly.
Like, why is the entitlement that I mean, I've been in the game 10 years.
Right.
Why do you, who just quit your job because you hated your boss, respect, get it?
I get it.
Why do you just quit your job, never tried anything, you buy a course and you expect to be a millionaire in 6 months? I mean, I love the
hustle
drive.
has got to be pretty hard, but like,
Yeah, I love the
wanna
drive and I
also
love
honestly-
the mindset and I love the manifestation.
right.
But like,
don't go under the jail for it though. It's not worth it.
no. And that's the thing is, that's the only way you're going to kind of get there to a degree. Like, I'm talking about brand new green out the gate. There's all these new people coming and they're so attracted to these gurus and these coaches that are teaching them mindless BS, stuff that like common sense, it doesn't make sense. But they buy into it and they're running with it and they don't realize they're doing fraud time after time.
It's hard out here. Just make sure that you guys just do your research and stuff there, of course. Well, what is it there? I've had multiple mentors and stuff there. I will say this, right? When you purchase education, a mentor, or any sort of course and things like that, if you can actually learn from it, honest, well-to-good information and apply it, that is 10 times better than taking 1,000 mentorships and 1,000 courses and not implementing one thing.
And actually,
so just take your time.
actually do the real work though. Here's the deal. The majority of us buy courses we never watch more than the first 5 minutes of. We forget about it. So
Literally.
so before we go and point I used to go to church back in the day, and I remember my pastor, he didn't teach me much that I held on to, but this was the big thing. And he always said, like, and I know it's a thing that everyone says, but he was like, when you point at someone, you got 3 fingers pointing back at you, right?
Right.
So we buy these courses, then we don't really do the work, or we don't stay dedicated or whatever. Because here's the deal, you got to be obsessed
with
you
success and a new mindset.
You want
and improvement.
success like all these other people. You need Snoop Dogg just went on his first vacation in 30 years, y'all. And Snoop Dogg has
Well-deserved.
millions of dollars. And this dude hasn't taken a vacation in 30 years. And y'all want to build up your business credit so you can be in all the different islands within 6 months with your boo that's absolutely talking to other girls on TikTok and Instagram.
It's wild. But also with Snoop Dogg, though, I will say, as a person that has been a beloved fan for many years, whatchamacallit, he makes sure to have fun while doing the work.
Absolutely.
And he has said on multiple occasions, on multiple platforms, that he surrounds himself with successful people, with people that know more than he does. And I've seen that as a pattern with every successful person that I've ever followed or listened to in my entire life and stuff there. But you can tell he has fun while he works and stuff there. I don't know how him and Martha became best friends, but
you know what? It works so much though. It works so much.
It does. And I wanted to buy like lighters. I don't even smoke, y'all. I wanted to buy lighters and new baking sheet pans just watching them. It was amazing. So
I wanted to be invited to the table. I was going to take it all on because that is just the coolest thing ever. Like, why not, right?
I was like,
Snoop and Martha.
I was like, you got COVID, you got Snoop Dogg and Martha. I was like, so many things are happening. I was like, I'm a new mom, just taking it all in.
Right.
But but before I forget to ask you and stuff there. So when should a person actually have business funding? When should they like offer to their clients, and when should they apply for it themselves?
I love this question so much. And here's a few things, because I actually brought this up in a training a little bit ago. I asked my students, I said, if you're running a seasonal business, like a tax business is very much, I'll say December through April or May. What would sound reasonable, right? So let's say December through
Well,
April,
if you're counting the late people, sometime September.
Okay,
No shade.
no shade, but yeah.
You know, we
So
all
if you
gotta
think
catch
about
up
it, like,
sometime.
so like January to like April is really the hot months for tax.
Exactly.
And then after that, they don't do anything, right? Let's pretend they don't do anything. So if you're running a tax business, when should you go and look for funding? Well, a lot of people are going to say, well, December or January. And it's like, no, you're totally wrong, because you had no income the previous X amount of months, right? You always want to, if as an individual and you're running a seasonal business, okay, this is the advice. Your best time to get funding is right at towards the end of your hot season, because that is when your deposits are the hottest, your bank account is popping, you should have good cash flow. That's when a seasonal business, if you know that, like same thing with like a e-commerce, like anyone that's big around Black Friday and Christmas, right? You should be looking for funding in January. Okay, that's a seasonal business. If you're seasonal, go after you've had 3-4 months of hotness. Okay, that's that. Now for other businesses, and I'll get to the when to offer it. For other businesses, it all depends on your reason. Oftentimes people come because they're expanding, they're having to move, they want to buy more inventory, right? Maybe they want to do more marketing. If someone comes to me and they say they just want money in the bank, I'm concerned. I'm wondering why. Okay. If someone comes to me and says, I want to open it, I had someone yesterday that said they wanted to open a, they do customization on like cups and things like that. And they wanted to open a retail location. She said that she's a newer business and she's struggling and she wants to open a retail. And so I said, well, what really is the goal of opening a retail when you're going to have a ton more overhead? Now you have rent and insurance and first month and last month and the sign
store.
Yeah, I mean, you got all this extra stuff. And she was like, in her mind, she believed it was going to, yeah, she thought it would help blow up her business. And I'm looking at the numbers and I'm going, with respect, you don't have a business. Your business isn't making $500 a month. That's not the appropriate time to take the leap. Again, I love that you want to take the leap.
Yet. Right now, it's an
Yeah.
expensive job.
It's so great that you want it. And she was like, well, I want to run radio ads. And I said, okay.
That sounds fun. I would rather
Sounds
do
fun,
that
but
than do the building.
But you can't track radio ads.
You cannot.
Who's listening to the radio and who's your customer? So I was
was
like,
hoping
for
she meant
your
Spotify.
type stuff, TikTok or Instagram, Pinterest, organic or targeting. So a lot of people think they can put money into something and it's going to magically change their business. Well, if I just get this money, then I'll make all this money. Maybe not. And our company is the one that's going to walk people through that. Other companies are going to say, here's the application. Let's do it. Right? So when is the right time to get funding? Number one, you should always have your personal credit as strong as possible and have you a line of credit. Having a real business line of credit will report to your business credit, will help you grow your business, and it's always there to pull from. It'll be some of the cheapest money. You don't have to keep reapplying. You don't have to keep paying extra fees. You got that line of credit and it's so good. So if an emergency or anything happens. So everyone should grow their business in order to get a line of credit. Lines of credit are very hard to get approved for. You need to have very strong cash flow. You need to have $5,000 plus as an average daily balance. You need to not have any negative days. You need to have your business properly structured. You need to have a real business bank account. You need to have 10 plus deposits minimum. You need, every single owner in the company needs a 650 plus credit score. But guess what? Fundbox will give you a line of credit. It's not a real line of credit. It's based on personal.
I didn't even know about that one.
Yeah. And by the way, 98% of people that say they work for Fundbox on Facebook do not. They are lying. They'll ask for an upfront fee. You can easily inbox Fundbox, ask them if the rep works with them. They do not. Fundbox does not have their reps looking ratchet, looking crazy, looking messy, and asking for upfront fees paid directly to the person. Look, it's the same screenshots. Let's do better. Let's do way better. But Fundbox will approve anyone over. Fundbox will likely approve, I don't want to say anyone over 600 with certain amount of documents. That's not a real business line of credit. It will be a higher interest rate. It's not helping you grow anything. They will say that it's helping you grow. It's not. It's helping you pretend get a better rate with Fundbox. Sorry, Fundbox.
You're just fine. At least you're honest.
I mean, and listen, and there's nothing wrong with that. If that's all you can get, and that's going to help grow your business. I'm not mad about it. I just want you to know what it is. It's not a real business line of credit, and it's going to go through the personal. But if that's what you need to get where you need to go, I'm not mad at anyone for doing that. I just want you to do it legally and legitly, and I want you to know what you're actually getting. But yeah,
Exactly.
so
But at
so
least you're
really,
giving them the honest
so and then
truth.
when it comes to offering financing, if you're offering anything over $1,000, if you're offering anything to people that are just starting out, or to people that maybe don't have the best credit, as a credit repair person, we have a platform you can sign up for, and you can actually create trade lines, and I can teach you how to do that.
Oh, well, that's there you go. Okay. And then you were also talking about a process. I know that some of the credit repair business owners had messaged me asking about what payment processor
Yeah.
I use and stuff there. And I wanted you to tell them about the option a little bit better because I'm horrible at explaining it. So could you
No,
explain
that's
for me?
okay. So there's payment processors and there's merchant processors. Okay. A merchant processor is protected. A merchant processor has to be concerned with money laundering. A merchant processor is paying attention to your deposits and making sure you're running legal activities. When you have a merchant processor, your file looks better for funding. Your file looks better to investors. Your file looks way better to your bookkeeper who hates you because you're getting in all these different payments. Bookkeepers,
Right.
anyone that's a bookkeeper should absolutely sign up to offer our merchant processing. How about beautiful line by line items to make your life just like butter, baby? Spread thin and beautiful and easy.
I love it.
It's so good, right? So I get that feedback from bookkeepers all the time. Like, I hate this. Like when you offer PayPal, Stripe, Venmo, Cash, just pay me any which way. I don't care. Number one, that's desperate. Number two, that's not professional. I hear people, well, my clients like this or my clients like that. Your clients are going to like, hopefully, your product and pay for it regardless.
Right.
A merchant
And when you go to
processor,
the movie, when you go to like the movie theater and you're paying for your ticket and stuff, do you ever say, hey, do you guys take Cash App? You're going to pay however they want you to pay because they're the business and you're the client.
exactly. Oh, well, I have money in my PayPal. Can I just pay that? And some of them accept PayPal. But here's the deal. When you have a merchant processor, you can accept all different things. And merchant processors are expanding and they're changing. So soon there are plenty of processors that will allow crypto and other things. But
Right.
you don't need to be at everywhere. I mean, that's not cute.
Exactly.
It's
And
cute.
you're
if
not
you
going to
want-
please everybody.
Yeah, I mean, listen, if you want to sell CDs out of the trunk of your car, that's cool. Okay. If that's how you want to be looked at as a business. But if you're trying to establish business credit, by the way, this also, again, it makes your business look stronger. It makes your business look real. It protects you. Now, credit repair in these high risk industries, they have a hard time holding payment processors because number one, credit repair is illegal for all of them. Stripe, PayPal, and Square, actually, credit repair is a restricted industry.
Right.
Anything financial is a
Right.
restrict. If you are selling anything high ticket, you are in a restricted industry. You should not
Right.
be using these.
Now,
Doesn't matter
not
if
to
you-
be confused with Thinkific, Teachable kind of thing there. If you are just educating and you are not paying,
You're
to
doing
teach
it through
somebody
the
stuff
you're doing it through the
personally,
you're doing it through the
the skin of
Teachable
your teeth.
website. Yes.
Exactly.
You
Right.
now things can still go awry though.
Right. Now, what I did personally was I actually just talked to them one-on-one to let them know, like, hey, I actually have a payment processor for all of my working with clients one-on-one. This is completely
Yes.
separate. This is my educational platform.
Yes.
Nothing is being done one-on-one. I respect you guys' business.
Yes,
too much
and
to try to
you
get
brought
through.
up, and that's what's great is when you are with a merchant processor, you have a real life rep. You have a
Right.
person that's like, hey, I'm your person. I'm going to help you. You're not calling the Philippines and hoping that their internet is good.
Oh,
2
Lord.
months ago, I had to call the Philippines for something on DocuSign, and the guy literally was like, I need you to call back. I can't help you. I'm new. And I'm like,
If it's
"Sometimes I-
raining too bad, it is
Yeah.
over.
Yeah, so you get a real rep. Another thing about a real merchant processor. So again, like credit repair, you're restricted. So you have to go with a processor that actually will process you. Yes, you will get approved for all of these. Yes, they will process for a minute. Yes, you will get got. I actually tested this about a few months ago. I signed up for Stripe through WooCommerce, okay?
Right.
So I decided I was going to have a little fun. And so I signed up for Stripe through WooCommerce as Cap Funding LLC. Funding, a restricted business. The codes and everything restricted, okay? I signed up through them, never heard back, never heard anything. 2 months later, I get an email saying that they have suspended and closed my Stripe account for violating their terms and conditions. Never used it, never knew I was approved, but I got an email saying I was closed down because I violated their thing. Didn't do anything with it. Everyone thinks that they're untouchable. Just because you've had Stripe for 2 years doesn't mean that they're not going to hold you. It takes a random audit. It takes an IP address change. It takes connect. My buddy just slid into my inbox. He decided he was no longer going to use Wells Fargo. He hates Wells Fargo. They've been pissing him off. Pardon me. So
Okay.
sorry. There's a child around. Okay.
Oh, he's fine.
Okay. He was using Wave as his processor.
Mm-hmm.
He unconnects his Wells Fargo to connect his new bank. Wave freaks out, went boop, 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 and grabbed 7K, put a hold of 7K on his account that fast. Because guess what? You're not supposed to unconnect your account. It says it in your contract. Did he know it? No.
Oh, she.
But and you just gonna call somebody, they don't know you. They don't know your name.
Right.
So these are the things that you don't think are gonna happen because you've never dealt with it. So, I mean, shoot, I've never been married. I don't know what that's like. I don't know. When I get married, I'm gonna find out what that's like, baby. Well, crap, right?
Right.
You don't know what you're getting into. So if you do a website change, and they'll do an audit. If they go on your website and it says anything about lead generation, you're going to get shut down. If all of a sudden you have an e-commerce, if you are doing a buy now, pay later now, buy now, pay later is restricted.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have a website and you're offering PayPal and you're also offering a buy now, pay later, you have now violated your contract with PayPal and they will shut you down.
Oof.
Imagine you decide to come out with a new course and you rapidly make a bunch of revenue. They are going to freeze up your account. They are concerned about money laundering.
And they will literally freeze your account, you guys.
Yeah, they're not shutting your account down for no reason. You just don't know all the reasons they can shut down your account.
Mm-hmm.
And so merchant processing, it takes longer. You have to go through underwriting. They're going to look at your credit. They're going to look, you have to be a legit business, but guess what? Now you're protected.
Right. I know business owners that literally have $15,000 on hold on
Only 10?
PayPal for the last
I know
year
80.
and a half.
I know 80. I know 90. I know
Yeah.
people that have lost everything, including their home, because PayPal put a freeze, then took all the money out of their bank account.
See?
So what are you going to do there? And do you
Yeah.
think that they care? Their department is an AI department if you go through it online. And if you call them up, you'll get a different answer. When I was running an eBay business and I didn't like what PayPal had to say, I would call them up until I got the right answer that I wanted. Every single rep said something different.
Oh, they do that too. They do that too. I remember like when I was like in the very beginning and stuff there, and not for what I do now, it was a different business and stuff. And like I would call people and I was like, well, the rep right before you said something completely different and the opposite. So why are you saying this now or whatever? And I think I was calling either for, I'm trying to remember and stuff there. I think they had like put a hold on like my money for something. And I think I was doing like websites at that time when I first was doing it, but it's wild. I'm just telling you guys and stuff there, they will hold your money and
It'll
stuff
happen.
there.
I mean, and listen, blessings
Be
if
careful.
it hasn't, blessings if it doesn't, but you're putting yourself at risk. Is
Yeah.
the risk worth the reward? These things that we're doing are risky. It's all good and dandy until all your money is frozen.
Exactly.
What are you going to do? Do you think that they care that you have a newborn or a car payment they don't? And now you think that, okay, we're going to review this in 30 days. Okay. And then we're going to review. It's not happening, man. Very few people get their money back and people are like, I'm going to sue them. Go ahead. They don't care. They don't care. They settle all the time.
It's
This one guy suing PayPal because he was getting, he's a gambler. He's a professional gambler and he was getting paid through PayPal. They shut him down. I was like, you can't use PayPal. You're gambling.
Well, that's true.
You're restricted. It's
Oh, is
easy, y'all. You can be mad all you want, dude.
Exactly. They won't care. Oh, and I did have one more question for you though. For those interested in providing funding or for those that want the payment processing option or even just to know about it, how would you suggest that they inform their audience if they're trying to provide funding, right?
Sure.
Kind of thing.
So that's the thing is if they want to provide funding, they would come to us and we would get them set up with the platform directly. And then we teach them and train them on how to do it. And what's
Okay.
wonderful about the offering, the financing is the platform can do all the work for them.
Okay.
So that's what's wonderful. As a business owner, we don't really have time to take on other things, other platforms, other systems, learn them, nourish them, run them. So to offer financing to your customers and clients, we make it very easy. You purchase the platform, We'll train you. I'll personally show you how to use it if need be. We also have a team that does that. And now you have that platform, and now you can start sending. And also, just in general, in our ecosystem, we provide posts and graphics and different things that people can utilize to offer that. So it's
Okay.
always available there. With the payment processing, I always urge people to become a client first. See what that looks like. Now, if you're already with a good merchant processor, I'm not going to take anyone away from anyone.
Yeah,
But
stay
here's
where
the
you're
deal.
comfortable if you're fine. But if you
Here's the deal though, like they are if you haven't tapped into cash discount, which is you don't pay any processing fees and your client pays the fees, then you are paying a lot of money out for no reason. We pay credit card fees for points, for air mileage, all that stuff. I always make this joke. If anybody is going on vacation, it should be you and your family. It shouldn't be your customers, because you keep paying their processing fees to cover the points, right? So let's take a look at, okay, you don't qualify for funding, but you're paying $2,000 a month in fees. Well, why don't we eliminate that $2,000? Now, what can you do with $2,000 a month in your pocket? What inventory? What marketing, what advertising can you use? You guys don't have to pay fees. So if you're working with a processor that charges fees, which they all do, unless you're tapped into cash discount, which we can provide, then you're paying too much in fees. And you do not, people think they have to pay fees. No one has to pay fees anymore. Nobody does. Nobody does.
I thought people had to pay fees.
No, we could totally eliminate it with something called the cash discount system. And a lot of people who are like, oh, I don't want to pay the fee, so I'm going to do a surcharge. Surcharges are illegal in 33 states, and you cannot charge more than 4%. So if you are charging I went to a record convention in Austin like a few months back, and I asked the guy if he took a card. He was like, yes, but I have to charge you 10%. And I said, come here. I took him over to the side. I said, I have no problem paying you 10%, but what you just did and said is illegal. I was
Right.
like, you cannot legally charge more than 4% as a surcharge. And I was like, and I'm unsure, because I am new to Texas. I'm like, I have to double check Texas law. I don't know if it's even legal for you to charge a surcharge. And he was like, oh my gosh. I was like,
It's like, how dare you know your stuff?
yeah. So like he could be easily reported to PayPal and everything be shut down. So
That's why.
that's the thing. Education is key. We don't know what we don't know. A lot of people aren't teaching this. That's why you have me on here. That's why, I follow you as well. We share this information so people have it, so they can, now you can make your own decision. Listen, if you want to pay fees, cool. If you want to use a payment processor like PayPal that you're on the restricted list, it's totally up to you. We all have our own choices, and that's what's beautiful about
I
it.
just don't want nobody to go under the jail. So do what you're supposed to do. Listen to Ashley. If you have questions, ask them. That's what the comment section is for.
Yeah,
That's what
absolutely.
her inbox is for. That's what her email is for, and
Yeah.
stuff there. I will say this though, probably the best place is to tag her name down in the comments and stuff there and ask her and stuff there. There's also capfunding.com, I believe, is the website too, to get in touch with her team as well. But overall, I like to simplify things because that's how my mind works, right? So
yeah.
I come from the real estate world. My mom has a real estate company. That's where I got started basically in life, forced down my throat, because that's all I knew. Single mom, real estate,
Sure.
that's it, right? So basically, right, I think of things in terms of like real estate terms, kind of, sort of sometimes. So when it comes to the business funding, right, I, the business owner, I want to offer funding. So I sign up, and now I have this platform to use. But I don't want to do any work, right? Because I already have a business. So basically what I'm paying for is the option to have my own personal link to include in any of my courses, give to my sales agents, give to my affiliates. And now you have a own mini army on the side. You have it as an extra form of passive income if you put it in your courses as well. And now that person that you just charged $99, $149, I have clients that literally bought my pre-made courses for $349 when they were that price, and she charges $699 per student. Okay, so now that $699 client also gets a $30,000 business funding loan through her. Now she gets what, $3,000, I think, commission from that as well, possibly, depending on like, whatever the commission is for that. I'm not the expert in that personal thing, but I'm just saying, don't leave money on the table if you don't have to, because I promise you that the wealthiest people out there in the world are not going to leave money on the table. It doesn't make sense to do so.
No.
I'm telling you to listen to Ashley, help your clients. And also, why not even include that in your in your feedback email for after they take your course? Thank
Yep.
you so much for being a student. Did you learn anything? How was the transaction? What did you take away? Did you end up taking advantage of our additional options? Then that's when you end up asking about your affiliate links,
Yeah.
including your business funding. That way you can start tracking who took advantage and who didn't. Because
It's always that one extra question. I always say that, just do that one extra question.
yes.
And the more questions that and that's what we do at my company. We ask a lot of questions, and
Absolutely.
sometimes we have to clarify the why of the questions, but every question gives us a piece of the puzzle.
Right.
So for any type of business owner, the more information you can get from your possible potential clients, and the ones you get from your clients, these are all pieces of the bigger puzzle. So if you feel like there's a disconnect there, it's those extra questions. And the biggest key, once you ask those questions, is listening to the answers.
There you
We
go.
must listen to those answers, be that sponge, and realize where it's going. If you're getting feedback that people wish that they could afford your service, that doesn't mean you decrease your sales amount. It means you
Add
look for
value.
ways to get them to do so. And maybe that's a payment plan, which
There you go.
we offer a protected payment plan, or maybe it's financing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, think about
Or
those
have
things.
them find somebody else and stuff there that also wants to learn. And now maybe them and two of their friends come to you and be like, hey, will you help all four of us? We're in a financial constraints, but
Yeah.
we can't afford X.
You
Can
know
we
what?
pay Y?
I had somebody do that for me once. They asked me for that. It was two people, and they really, really, really wanted to learn. And I was like, you guys are business partners, right? And they were like, yeah. And I was like, okay, well, why don't you just 50-50 it? I'm just charging for one slot. One pays half, one pays the other. You guys can afford half each, right? And they were like, yeah. I was like, I wouldn't, like, me personally, like if there's two people and they're partners, like, I'm probably not going to charge them both, but I'm a pushover sometimes. It's the cancer in me.
It depends on what a person wants to do. I mean, if you guys both want to support me and just sit side by side with your computers, do you, boo boo? But what
and you know what? I would much rather know that they're doing it than them taking the training and being like, oh, look, I'm going to share this. Because here's the deal. Like,
anyone can come to you.
Anyone could buy the training and then show all their friends. I mean, people steal trainings all the time, but you know what? If you came to me and was like, listen, we can't afford 2 slots or whatever, but I have this partner, like, I respect that transparency. Recently I had someone come to me locally. We had met a few times, and she was like, I need a session. I need to rethink everything. I need it.
Right.
And we go to coffee. And I'll go to coffee. I won't charge you for the coffee, right? I even paid for her coffee.
I love
And we
stuff.
sat down, and she asked me, like, she's like, I'm having a real disconnect. She's a credit repair person. She's having a real disconnect. And I said, you know what? This is what you need to do. And I just, for actually like 2.5 hours, I was like, blah, 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 blah. Told her all the things, right?
Mm-hmm.
The next week, that chick, boom, boom, every single thing I told her to do, she's executing. She's doing this, she's doing that, and she's blowing up. And I'm like,
I love it. It's the implementation.
it was the,
Okay.
but you know what? I love that she asked, she was like, hey, will you do a coffee with me? And she told me what she wanted. I knew that's what she wanted. And you know what? I like her overall. So I was like, heck yeah, let's go to my favorite coffee place. We went and had coffee. We talked like you and I did before. And I gave her a bunch of information, and she actually listened. Because guess what? 9.9 times out of 10, I spend that 2.5 hours giving them $1 million blueprint, and they don't do anything with it. And she took that, and she was like, I see her every day. She's still doing it every day. And this was like a month ago. And I'm like,
I love it. And just to put it out there and stuff there, and I know my girl won't mind and stuff there. What is it? That's why I love sending people to you though and stuff. So my friend Monique and stuff there was like, I want to add even more value. I want to help even more people in my group, but I'm trying to brainstorm. We were brainstorming different ways that she can continue serving this community that she has formed and stuff there. And the first thing that I thought of was, you need to get in contact with Ashley, because I feel like Ashley Gunther can help you with things that that's not my expertise, but I know that it can be an extra layer of value to people that are in your group, because I knew that she was able to help people with government contracts, with business credit, and a whole bunch of other things and stuff there. Like, she's amazing at Turo. She's so talented. But I was like, okay, why don't you there's nothing wrong with adding people to your network that know
more
Expert.
in their field. No
We
one
can-
has to be a
yeah.
jack of all trades. You can,
And listen, and there's a full quote, the jack of all trade. Like that's a long quote that a lot of people ignore. But here's the deal: like I'm really good at what I'm really good at, and I have tried for years to add more to it, and then it's like, but that's not what the most successful people do. You know, the
Right.
joke is the wealthy people, they didn't go to college, they hire the college graduates, right? That's who they have on their payroll. So what you need to understand is look into your audience, look into your avatar. Hopefully you have your avatar and you have your target audience, right? And you're looking at these people. What are their other issues? What are their other problems? I can leave you kind of like with this thought overall in the training. This is what I've been teaching people is regardless of if you're adding funding, if you're adding merchant processing, doesn't matter what you sell. I don't care what you sell, what you do, insurance, wigs, nails. I don't care what you do. I want you to start asking your customers, now that we're halfway through the year, like what's your biggest goal for the rest of 2022? What's one of your big goals? Simple, vague. It's vague, but it opens up. You didn't say personal, you didn't say business, you didn't say life, you didn't say relationship. You just was like, what are your big goals at the end of it?
What do you want for you? Exactly.
And they're gonna think, and then maybe they're gonna say, you know what, I want to lose weight, or I want to buy a new car, or I want a new haircut. They're gonna just say whatever comes to their mind. Listen, be quiet. Don't lead them any which way. Just ask them simply, like, or what's the biggest thing holding you back? What's the biggest thing keeping you up at night? These little simple questions are gonna have your clients start speaking. Listen, now you're gonna get the laundry list of all the things that are bothering them. Who do you know that can help them? The biggest thing for all of us to be is a connector. Be a connector. I am successful because I'm a connector, because for years I have always spoken the truth. I have always clarified transparency, and I've always taken responsibility.
Right. Right.
I will look, my car got towed last week. Whose fault was it? It was my fault. Wasn't nobody else's fault but mine. I thought I wasn't parked under the overhang. I parked a little bit over the sun was in my eyes. It didn't matter. It was my fault. It was a $342 my fault. It was only my fault. I was mad at the Airbnb host because he had just been rude anyway, but it was my fault.
Right. Right. You know, and the own
take
responsibility and stuff there, right? Because everyone has a choice on how much they care or not. And if you have a team though that does like these calls and the connecting for you, then I trust that you will have a better turnaround if you start having these conversations with the people that are your representation.
Get good experts in your corner. I'm going to give this advice about experts. Do not worry about how much they pay out. I really do hate that. I have never, anytime I get a partner, I don't ask how much they pay out. Now, I know you want to know how much they pay out, but a lot of you people are, again, price shopping, and you want the highest payouts. The highest payouts usually mean that they're charging your clients more to overcompensate for the payout that they're doing. They'll typically increase their prices, but that doesn't mean quality. Right. And you need to understand that when you are bringing experts into your ecosystem, you're co-signing on them. And I want you to imagine you're co-signing on a loan with them.
Exactly.
Do you have that much trust?
Ooh, that's a lot of trust. I don't think I do.
That's what you're doing when you bring in the experts. So research the experts, make sure what they're offering is in line with your whys, with your purpose. Because guess what? I say this all the time. Not all money is money that you should want. Not all money is the money that you should feel good about.
That you desire, that you require, that you want in your space.
We're not talking about energy.
Exactly.
Money comes with energy. The energy you work, the people you're working with, there comes a price for everything. So I want you to consider quality over payment, because that will really resonate with your clients, because it needs to be an extension of yourself. So absolutely bring in experts, vet them, make sure that they align with things. If I'm working, you know, there are certain people that won't align with my stuff. There are certain people that want to charge an extra 20% on the back end because they referred them to me, and I say no. There are people that are like, I want to charge an application fee before they get to you. No, no. And if you try to sneak that, ooh, your contract will be cut up real fast.
Exactly. No. Exactly. So I definitely
be mindful of that. Yeah.
Urge everyone and stuff there to look at your clients and stuff there, look at what they need, and ask yourself, do I have any clients that have an additional need or want for something that I could help them achieve, that I can help them get, right? So like one of the first things that I ask the clients that I do personally decide to take on for like one-on-one, whether it's credit wise or business wise or in any space, is I want to know what your mindset is. If you want an 800 credit score in 2 days, I'm not the place for you. You
Hey,
don't
listen,
need
if you want
like
an
that.
800, if you want an 800 credit score in 2 days, whatever is going on is completely illegal.
All day I was like, I'm not going to jail for you. I got kids. I was like, I like how the fresh air like looks on my skin. Like, no, right? So there's that. I asked them and stuff like, what exactly are you trying to achieve by the end of the year, right? And
Mhm.
stuff there. What are your 6 months and your 12-month goal? Okay, cool. This one gentleman told me he wants to fix his credit so that he can qualify for a quality loan and stuff there and get his business right and propose
Mhm.
to his lady. I was like, look at this game plan.
You know
People
what?
have
Asking
plans.
asking the goals for things. I realize that this is very powerful. When you when you ask people what's now, don't say why. Why is
Mhm.
can be a very aggressive, yucky. Like, don't ask me why. But when you
Right.
ask, what is the goal here? Like when people come to me about business credit, you and I spoke about it, or when people come to me for funding, what is the goal for the funding? What is the goal of establishing business credit? What is the goal of losing 30 pounds? What is the goal of getting an 800 credit score? When you ask that, again, it gets them thinking. It's not a question that they're commonly asked, and it's going to open them up to a lot of information.
Like she said,
That's
it's
when you
open.
know if the lead is even quality or not. Because guess
Exactly.
what? If someone says, I want to establish business credit, and you say, what is the goal of that? And they say, well, I want to get a $300,000 business loan because my personal credit's crap. That's not going to work.
Now you have to
Then
give them the reality check talk.
then it's,
You know.
well, this is going to be a great opportunity for me to educate you, get you to understand what business credit does and what it doesn't. We could talk about the importance of your personal credit and why it's going to matter here. And this is how we can really step up and help you get there, since that's your goal.
Right. This one gentleman had actually told me, and before I keep going with this part and stuff, you guys, if you're watching right now and stuff, do me a favor. If you're watching live, just go ahead and comment the number 1 below. And if you're watching the replay, comment the number 2 for me. But what I also want to see in your comments is, what is the last consultation that you had? What was the reason for someone actually coming to your services? Not everyone comes to a credit repair or signs up for your services because they need a home. So go ahead and drop that below for me. But yeah, no, definitely and stuff. Like, you know, if you go ahead and you sign up for this one gentleman, that's what happened. He had actually came, did a consultation, and he's an amazing guy and stuff. They're a police officer, and he was like, hey, I want to fix my credit eventually, but what I'm really worried about is I want my business credit so that I can get a $500,000 duplex and start renting out all the units. And I was like, so just to be clear, you want to get your business credit straight into the duplex before your personal credit. Is that right? He was like, absolutely. And then we had what my family calls a come to Jesus meeting.
Yes.
And he had a better overall understanding by the end of that call and stuff, right? Because I just wanted to make sure he had the proper mindset. If
Yes.
someone's mindset is not aligned with yours and your business values and goals and you guys' core mission, then you can't help them, right? So all you can do is try to educate them on that call and stuff there, and maybe have them sign up for your course and stuff. So that's why I even made Course in a Box. I was tired of feeling as though I had to persuade someone to fix their life kind of thing on the phone. So now I'm like 10 times more laid back. So is my team. You don't want our help one-on-one yet. You're not ready. No problem.
And credit
Take a
repair,
course.
listen, credit repair is one of the most challenging industries because you are absolutely dealing with people with mindset issues and with miseducation. And those two are the most dangerous because mindset is the end all be all.
Mhm.
Everything in our mind is what is.
Right.
And then it's the non-education or the miseducation.
Right.
And both of them come with two different separate issues.
Right.
Completely not being educated and when you've been misinformed, you got a chip on your shoulder. When you've been misinformed, you're even more angry with the world.
Right.
So as anyone doing credit repair, it's so important. You are going to waste time, never a waste of time, but you're going to waste time a lot talking to people that aren't going to buy.
Right.
And there's a reason for that. It's the mindset and the misinformation.
Right.
Do not allow the people that are making guarantees and acting like credit can be taken care of in 45 days. Don't let them bring you down. Show that that's misinformation. Showcase that.
Right.
You
And some
don't-
people do have really fast increases, and that's amazing. But that's a
Sure.
rarity. That's a monopoly.
Yeah, well, and it can
not
happen. It
guaranteed.
depends on what's on the history. If you have nothing on the
Exactly.
history and you add a secured line and you keep the utilization under whatever and you do it for 3 straight
that's
months,
the
you're gonna
big
have a
thing.
150-point climb or some shit. Okay, like my bad, but like that's the biggest thing is you don't stop thinking that you're losing good clients. You're not losing good clients. You're losing trash. Because guess what? 9 times out of 10, they don't make their second payment.
That person just saved you. And
No,
now, like,
seriously.
and most
It's-
of the time, they don't
it's a
pay for their
headache.
credit monitoring anymore, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I have smart credit and stuff there as far as credit monitoring goes. Absolutely adore it. Highly recommended. Now, of course, like I've been in the credit repair industry game for a while and stuff. And so I've tried almost all of them. I don't have anything against anybody else though. Identity.
They all have pros and
totally
cons.
awesome.
There's
Exactly. And stuff there. I was taught and stuff there to try the best ones for you and your company and your clients, and to make sure you get those affiliate links so that your time is valued, because every little bit counts as a business owner at all times.
Yes.
I have credit monitoring sites that I have not referred in years, and I still get affiliate payments from them on a monthly
And listen, and that's
basis.
the other thing. Build it right, provide help to your clients, figure out all the ways that you can help your client, create that platform, create that ecosystem, get your affiliate links. Don't leave money on the table. Anything that you suggest to a person, find out if they have an affiliate program.
Right.
Get that. Get that.
And
And if they don't,
let people be your referred agent that are your referred agent. Don't think that you have to be the person to go over every sort of list, term, interest rate, pros and cons. You don't have to do that. You can provide a blog on that, maybe even a mini workshop with Ashley and stuff there. But what you want to do, honestly, is I want you to save time and move efficiently and in a smart, practical way, right? So like, this is me begging you to take your time seriously and tell them, hey, I am partnered with this company and stuff there, which means that you are an affiliate. So do what affiliates do. Pass the baton to the expert and let them qualify them for you. Because
our company does everything. Your lead comes in, we do the rest of it. You'll get notifications of where they're at, but you don't have to worry. Now, every once in a while, if we're having trouble getting a hold of the client, I'm going to reach out to my partner and say, hey, you know, I'm having a hard time getting a hold of Alice. Would you mind shooting her a quick text for me?
There you go.
No big deal. But we do the whole thing from A to Z. And that's what's great. Find the experts. Find the experts with systems set up. Because a lot of these people are real good at what they do, but they don't have systems. So then when you start sending them leads, the quality won't be there. Okay.
So I tell you guys, if I tried to do this workshop without Ashley today, it would have been a hot mess express. You know why? Because I'm not the business funding expert.
Right.
Okay. I haven't been doing this for 15 years. I know that. I am okay in my place. So what I'm going to do when I have clients and students, like I have students that have like signed up for my courses and stuff. They're in my own personal school the last 2 months that have asked me additional questions. They've asked my food trailer sales agents reps, my credit repair sales agent reps, additional questions about the funding. And I tell everyone to respond the same way. Let me connect you to an expert to further assist you.
Yeah,
I don't want to lead you astray.
That's the simplest thing. Let me connect you to an expert. You can ask them all these crazy questions. I wish that I can answer. I can't. That's why I would say that's why I got the expert over here. You know, they make me look good. They make you look good. They make everybody happy. Yeah, do that handoff for sure.
Yeah, and that's the timeline, right? And stuff. They ask the question so that someone has a need, they have a problem. You are a problem solver naturally as a business owner. You provide a solution to that problem or a possible solution. They go ahead, they're intrigued. They look at their options. An expert goes over it with them. They get approved because we're just going to speak positive into existence. You get a check in the mail and a positive review.
or a wire. We mostly wire transfers, but yeah, they can
I'll
get a
take
check.
whatever, you know. But yeah, I'm just trying to say, I'm just
Yeah,
trying to
but
put it out there.
and that's the thing, and that's what all of our goals are. Is honestly, you want to be able to help your clients in
that
any way,
impact.
shape, or form, and you don't have the bandwidth to offer all of that and maintain quality. So connect yourself with incredible experts, with good-minded people that have the same purpose and whys maybe behind them, the same thing that's fueling them. And you'll listen, work with people that you like, know, and trust. Like
There you
them,
go.
know them, trust them. It's the 3 layers.
Right.
Get with those
There you
people
go.
and find out and do tests. Don't go all in. Don't flood someone. Put it 1 or 2 through. Now,
Right.
and I'll end it with this. When you're putting 1 or 2 through, also keep in mind, if you're sending like 2 crappy things to someone, they can only do so much with it. So also understand the range there. So if you're testing someone out, also understand what you're sending to them. If you're sending them challenging files, it will be harder, and you'll struggle to create a baseline of, is this worth it if it's not, right?
Right.
It doesn't mean don't send, but at least you can don't always look for this sounds weird. Don't always look for the results, but look for the results. When you're testing someone, you want to look at the process. You want to look at the communication. You want to look at the turnover time. You want to look at how they are approaching things, right? For us in funding, if we don't get them funded, it will happen, of course.
Right.
Yeah, especially with the way the economy is changing. Lenders are absolutely tightening up.
Right.
So of course you want the end result, but not every file is there for right now. Right. But when you connect them with the expert, how are they helping? How are they showing that they're an expert? How is it making the client feel? Does the client feel like they're important? Is this an extension of you? And then you determine, is this okay or not? Because
Exactly.
if you got funding, then you're feeling great, right? But if you didn't, look at the whole process. And the same thing with other people.
And they
Now,
learn
obviously,
from it.
yeah.
Right?
Well, obviously,
Right.
if they're delivering a product like, let's say, a website, and you don't like the end result, there's conversations to do with that, right?
Exactly.
But look at the process itself, because the process is really what's going to matter. The process is what makes the client feel good or not.
Yeah, and
So-
their profile, right? Like the same way as someone gets approved for a house or not, right? Like
Yeah.
2 people
Yeah.
can have a 680 score and one could get approved and one could get denied. What does their credit file look like?
Yeah, it's
And
about
someone's
the
financial
profile.
history
Yeah.
is the same thing. It's
Yeah.
their profile. What have they been doing the last 6 months to a year? You know, are they like abandoning all of their bank accounts and stuff? There is everything being declined, and now they're like making $20,000 the last like 2 months and stuff there, but they haven't filed taxes in 6 years. Like,
Yeah.
so it's okay. Rejection is not the end of the world. If someone is rejected, I just take it as a learning experience, not just for that person, but for me as well. Why were you rejected? Did you read your email? Did you ask questions so that way you could fix the problem and maybe try again at a later time? What? So yeah, but I just urge people to make it easy for yourself. Include your business funding link if you end up doing it through CAP funding and stuff there. I'm going to be honest. I chose Ashley because 1, I love her personality and her work ethic, and I believe in what she does. Not only that, but I actually found Ashley and stuff there because I was following another amazing person on Facebook, the same way I ended up finding my mentor and stuff there that a lot of people know and stuff as well. Starts with an A, right? I post her all the time in the group. Anywho, so what is it there? I was following another person, and she is now at 7, 8 figures, and she had kept posting this Ashley on our call right now as her mentor, and I slid in Ashley's DM so fast, y'all. It was almost broke my neck. I'm just trying to say that, like, just follow the blueprint and stuff. I was like, okay, there's obviously something in her brain that I would like to obtain. Let me make that connection real quick,
Right.
because I don't have all the answers all the time.
Yep.
And so build connections. But what I was trying to say was make sure that you make things easier for you. Put the business funding link in your email campaign.
Oh,
Educate
and we
your
have email
clients.
sequences they can use.
And she gives you the email sequences. Like, you don't even have to sit there with copy.ai, because y'all know I'll be telling y'all to use that. So
Right.
go ahead.
Yeah, so if we don't have it, they can use it through your, like that.
You
like-
can use that sometimes, but don't make things harder for you. If someone says, hey,
Yeah.
I have the burger
Yeah.
for you, you don't have to
Mhm.
make the sandwich yourself. Take the burger.
Yeah,
Okay,
you-
so
utilize it, for sure.
yes. So go ahead and use that and stuff there in your email campaigns. Include it in your ad copy, in your groups and stuff there. Put it in your back end, in your DIY course, in your business marketing course, in your business credit course. I literally have like over 10 courses now. By the end of the year, we're supposed to have over 50 in the
Mm.
store. So I'm really
I love
excited
it.
about that. I'm also deconstructing my entire credit repair business to give you guys my back end. So my SOPs will be for sale, what I give people for my onboarding, what I give people for my end of program. Goodbye. It's time to go.
Woo!
Toodaloo
I hope
statement.
they paying attention to this. This is the
I'm
whole
putting that
thing.
on there just because I saw that it was like a need, and I was like, okay, so
No, it's a
sitting
huge need. It's a
in my
huge
Canva.
need.
Yeah, and like I've actually had clients where I'm like, hey, you're like at the cusp of 700. You've been in my credit repair company in the program for the extended amount of time, because there is a cutoff time, you guys. You cannot have them as a client forever legally. Whole different conversation. So I'm like, bye, it's been great, you know, toodles. And I have a text message that I literally send like to like when it's time to go, you know, as like a
Wait,
courtesy
you
at
have
that point.
everything legally structured from A to Z?
Right? So then she calls me, one of them, and they're like, okay, but I really like it with you, and you sent me to Miami with the whole vacation voucher thing, and me and my family really loved it, by the way. Thank you. It's vacation for two, y'all. I don't know how they snuck people in through the back. I didn't approve that at all. Anyways, so she was like, can I just stay like and pay for a few more months? And I was like, I cannot take any more of your money. I'm good. Like, you're good. Everyone's good. I was like, remember that very first conversation we had about building your credit profile? She's like, no. I was like, well, I do. And I'm going to remind you today because I love you. I was like, you need to do 1, 2, 3, and 4, and it will take your credit score from here to here, because my processing team has done everything humanly possible for you at this point.
Yeah.
And then I was like, dude, I had to give her the boot. Like, it's time to go. Like, go fly, little birdie, like that kind of thing. So yeah, don't make life harder for you. I gave her every single affiliate link that I had for my positive credit building options and stuff there. I know I shared many of them in the group. I believe in a list. If you go in the featured area and stuff, it should be up there. But everything that you offer, have an affiliate link for. Once again, don't leave food on the table. Every
There's
little
no
thing
need.
counts,
They're
especially
coming to you. They got the need.
if
They
you're having
already-
a $20,000 month, that doesn't mean next month is going to be the same.
Yeah.
Prepare now, right? Every single thing I make and stuff there, I always take 10% of it and put it in a fun day fund and stuff there. I don't call it an emergency day fund or a rainy day fund.
I know. Remember, our words are important.
Our words are power. Words are important. And I'm reading a whole bunch of mindset books and stuff like that lately. If you follow me on my personal page, then you kind of already know. But yeah, put it as like a fun day fund. If you put it in a rainy day fund, that means rainy days are coming, right? So just everything that
you are asking for the rainy day.
and you're asking for the rainy day.
Yeah, you're asking for that emergency. Yeah. Flip that, reframe things.
Yeah, it's wild, but it's so true and stuff there. The last 3 books I read, and I'm going to share this with you guys really, really quickly, was The Compound Effect. What was the second one there? It was The Compound Effect, The Secrets of a Millionaire Mind, and it was a third one and stuff. No Excuses by Brian Tracy. I've read that book 3 times. And I'm about to go for a 4th.
You know, back in the day, T. Harv Eker actually retweeted me after I read his book, and I thought that was the coolest thing.
I would have melted on the ground. Like, I would have been no good, because I really want to go. Like, his I heard his seminars are like really amazing and stuff too. So I love all of that stuff. But no, you guys, I really appreciate you for watching today. Now, actually, before I let these amazing people go, did you have anything additional that you wanted to inform them?
You know, the biggest thing is, I feel that I'm the best. You know what I'm saying? I'm a little biased, but I know that I'm the best. I know that my company offers the best. But at the end of the day, maybe there's somebody else that you want to work with, whether you feel morally obligated or you found your person, or maybe you're just like, I don't really like Ashley. That's fine. You don't have to. But I want you guys to do your research before you go ahead and give these people your money. Don't pay anyone up front without a contract or an agreement. Just because they have a contract or agreement doesn't mean they're not going to fulfill it, right? But make sure that you have contracts or agreements. There are certain programs where they fill out an application and an agreement. And that agreement talks about all the things on both ends. It protects both you and them. Think about that. When you're paying for something, okay? Think about the way that you're giving them money. If something were to happen, would you be able to do a chargeback, a legal chargeback? Don't take money from people that worked hard. If you didn't get the results, you didn't get the results, but don't take money from people if they actually worked hard, right? Look into guarantees. If they are making a guarantee, but it's not a legit money back guarantee with the information, it's not a guarantee. It's them just saying ish to get you to buy. Think about that. Think about who they are. Look at their page. Now, I know that we all want to help the small guy, and it's okay to work with small people, but beginners and amateurs, there's a risk there. I know I was an amateur though once, so I respect that. So understand what you're getting yourself into. Do not work with companies with Gmail or Yahoo accounts. They should only be using them for email campaigns as burner emails or for their YouTube channel. No one should be requesting documents that way. Ask them who trained them. Ask them about what funding programs do you offer? That's the easiest way to spot an amateur. If someone's saying your credit score doesn't matter, they're misleading you. If someone says no credit check, they are misleading you. Ask them for that. Ask them for that information. And you freezing your account isn't going to get you funding or isn't going to get you to circumvent the pull. You're just going to get declined or be put inactive. Okay. Like,
Right.
There's ways. So if you're not going to come to an expert like me, understand people will say and do anything to get an app. They will promise you whatever. They'll say that they can refinance it. They'll say, take this MCA and I'll get you a line of credit next week. That's not true. It's not even how that works. They'll tell you whatever to get the deal. I know you don't want to hear the cold hard truth sometimes. I know you don't want to hear that maybe you effed things up a little too hard and it's going to take you time and money. I know you don't want to hear that. But when an expert tells you that, research it and then don't believe the guy or the girl in the corner just telling you everything you want to hear.
Facts.
That's how you get got. That's how
Yeah.
that's how you get all these hard pulls. That's how you get scammed. That's how you lose out on money. That's how you get bitter and angry and go back into victim mentality. And that's not going to get you anywhere. Because honestly, it was because you made certain choices.
We don't want to do that. And you don't
chose
want
to not believe the hard shit. Yeah, the hard shit was too hard to deal with. So you decided to listen to this person that was packaging something up really pretty that wasn't there. That's
There you
tough.
go.
It's hard, but you got to take responsibility for it or it's just going to keep happening.
And imagine someone swindling you and then you were excited. So you sent 35 of your clients and stuff as well. And now everybody
That's why I said
everybody mad.
That's why I
You are
said
the only one
test
getting the
it.
bad reviews. So just
Test it.
test it out.
Test it.
and
Test it.
stuff.
Don't jump all the way. I mean, listen, I'm great. And y'all should want to jump in head first with me. I'm still going to tell you, send a few. Send a few and see how it goes. Become a client first. Do one of those. See it, feel it, understand it.
And
So,
she's dead serious, y'all, too. Because even after I started and stuff, she was like, let's start with a test client and stuff there to make sure like this is best suited for them and stuff.
it helps you and it
Even
helps.
because-
Listen, it protects my butt, but it protects your butt too. You know what I'm saying? Like
Exactly.
that's the biggest thing is there's a lot of bad seeds out there.
and
Sometimes
you
the
get to learn
bad
the
seeds
process.
and the good seeds look exactly alike. You know,
There you
So
go.
how can you tell? Research. My page is 10 plus years old. You can be looking at Ashley Tell the cold hard truth since 2017, baby.
Somebody went to a picture in my profile in my personal page the other day to 2010, and I was scared, but I was like, okay.
Like when
I
they
was like,
be
my
liking,
eyebrows look completely different.
girl, when they be liking the old 2017 lives from Ashley and they hit that like button, so now it's in the news feed, and I'm like mortified. I'm like,
So I was like, at
don't
least
know
I
that girl.
started from there, you know, and
That's funny.
stuff. But
Well,
yeah,
thank you so much for this. I look forward to people's questions, inquiries, answer anything that's possible. And this is one of many, I have a feeling.
Yay! No, I love it. Thank you so much for being here. I really, really appreciate you. Now, you guys, do me a favor. Once again, if you tuned in for this live, go ahead and drop a 1 down in those comments. And if you caught the replay, comment the number 2. Of course, if you have any question at all underneath the deep blue sea for Ashley, go ahead and put them down below in the comments. Somebody else might have the same exact question, but they might just be a little hesitant to ask it. So go ahead and help your cousin out and put it down below.
Yep.
Tag Ashley's name. If you're interested in CAP funding and stuff there, we're going to make sure to put the link in the comments so that way you can get all of your stuff together and know what to expect. And yeah, no, until next time, you guys have an amazing day.
Thank you.
Okay, bye.